All right, Act 1, the jury room of a New York Court of Law, 1957, a very hot summer afternoon. It is a large, drab, bare room in need of painting, with 3 windows in the back wall through which can be seen the New York skyline. Off the jury room is a washroom with wash basin, soap, and towels, visible on stage, and a lavatory beyond. A large scarred table is centered with 12 chairs around it. A bench stands against the wall, and there are several extra chairs and a small table in the room, plus a water cooler with paper cups and a wastebasket and an electric fan over the bench and a clock above the cooler, row of hooks for coats, with a shelf over it. There are pencils, pads, and ashtrays on the table. At night, the room is lit by a fluorescent lighting with the switch next to the door. When the curtain rises, the room is empty. The voice of the judge is heard.
And that concludes the court's explanation of the legal aspects of this case. And now, gentlemen of the jury, I've come to my final instruction to you. Murder in the first degree, premeditated homicide, is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. You've listened to the testimony, and you've had the law read to you and interpreted as it applies to this case. It now becomes your duty to try and separate the facts from the fancy. One man is dead. The life of another is at stake. I urge you to deliberate honestly and thoughtfully. If there is a reasonable doubt, then you must bring me a verdict of not guilty. If, however, there is no reasonable doubt, then you must, in good conscience, find the accused guilty. However you decide, your verdict must be unanimous. In the event you find the accused guilty, the bench will not entertain a recommendation for mercy. The death sentence is mandatory in this case.
The door opens and the guard enters. He carries a clipboard with a list of the jurors.
I don't envy you your job. You are faced with a grave responsibility. Thank you, gentlemen.
There is a brief pause, sound of jurors walking and talking.
All right, let's move along, gentlemen.
The jurors enter. The guard checks his list. The 9th juror, an old man, crosses into the washroom and exits to the lavatory. The 4th juror begins to read a newspaper. Several jurors open the windows. Others move awkwardly about the room. There is no conversation for a few moments. The 3rd juror takes out some notes and studies them. The 2nd juror crosses to the water cooler and gets a cup of water. The foreman tears a sheet from a notepad and tears up little slips of paper for ballots. The guard crosses to the 12th juror and checks his name. The 7th juror crosses to the 4th juror and offers him a stick of gum. The 4th juror shakes his head.
You want some gum?
No, thanks.
The 7th juror vigorously chews a piece of gum himself and crosses to the 6th juror.
You know something? I phoned in for this weather. This is the hottest day of the year.
The 6th juror nods and gazes out of the window.
You think they at least air conditioned the place? I almost dropped in court.
Okay, gentlemen, everybody's here. If there's anything you want, I'm right outside. Just knock.
The guard exits, and in the silence, the sound is heard of the door being locked.
I never knew they locked the door.
Sure, they locked the door. What'd you think?
I don't know. It just never occurred to me.
The 10th juror crosses and pauses beside the foreman and indicates the slips of paper.
Hey, what's that for?
Well, I figured we might want to vote by ballot.
Great idea. Maybe we can get him elected senator. Ha ha ha.
He laughs until he begins to cough. The foreman looks at his watch and compares it with the clock. The 3rd juror takes a cup of water from the water cooler, moves to the 2nd juror, and looks around the room as he sips his water.
How'd you like it?
I don't know. I was free. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was falling asleep.
I mean, I've never been on a jury before.
Really? I've sat on juries, and it always amazes me the way these lawyers can talk and talk and talk. And even when the case is obvious as this one. I mean, did you ever hear so much talking about nothing?
Well, I guess they're entitled.
Sure they are. Everybody deserves a fair trial. That's the system. Listen, I'm the last one to say anything against it, but I'm telling you, sometimes I think we'd be better off if we took these tough kids and slapped them down before they made trouble, you know? Save us a lot of time and money.
The second juror looks nervously at the third juror, nods, rises, moves to the water cooler, refills his cup, and stands alone, sipping.
Hey, how about getting started here?
Yeah, let's get this over with. We probably all got things to do.
Well, I was figuring we take a 5-minute break. I mean, the old man's in the bathroom.
Are we going to sit in order?
I don't know.
The eighth juror is looking out the window.
Not a bad view.
The eighth juror nods.
And what do you think of the case?
The eighth juror doesn't answer.
It had a lot of interest for me. No dead spots. You know what I mean? I'll tell you, we were lucky to get a murder case. I figure us for a burglary or an assault or something. Those can be the dullest. Say, isn't that the Woolworth building?
That's right. Funny, I've lived here all my life and I've never been in it.
The eighth juror gazes out the window. The 12th juror looks at him for a moment, then moves away.
Damn waste of time.
Yeah, can you imagine sitting here for 3 days just for this?
And what about the business with the knife? I mean, asking grown-up people to believe that kind of BS?
Well, look, you gotta expect that. You know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I suppose so.
The 10th juror blows his nose vigorously.
What? See, now you got a cold?
And how those hot weather colds can kill you. I could hardly touch my nose. Know what I mean?
Well, your horn's all right. Let's try your lights. Oh, that's beautiful. The fan doesn't work. Somebody take a letter to the mayor. Dear Stingy.
Let me take a look at it.
The third juror moves above the fourth juror, leans over and scans the fourth juror's newspaper. The foreman climbs on the bench and examines the fan.
It doesn't work.
I didn't get a chance to look at the newspapers today. Anything new going on?
I was just wondering how the market closed.
I wouldn't know. Say, are you on the exchange or something?
I'm a broker.
Really? I run a messenger service, the Beck and Call Company. The name's my wife's idea. I employ 37 people, started with nothing.
Hey, Mr. Foreman, let's go. What do you say?
All right, gentlemen, let's take seats.
This better be fast. I got tickets to a ball game tonight. Yankees, Cleveland. We got this new kid pitching, Mojalowski, or whatever his name is. He's a bull, this kid.
He shoots his hand forward out to indicate the path of a curveball.
Shoom, a real jug handle.
There's no reaction at all from the second juror.
You're quite a bull fan, aren't you? Where do you want us to sit?
Well, I was thinking we ought to sit in order, by jury numbers.
He points with each number.
2, 3, 4, and so on. If that's okay with you, gentlemen.
What's the difference?
I think it's reasonable to sit according to the number.
Let it be.
He moves and sits on chair 10. The jurors begin to take their seats. The 8th juror continues to stare out the window. The 9th juror is still in the lavatory.
What was your impression of the prosecuting attorney?
I beg pardon?
I thought he was really sharp. I mean, the way he hammered home his points, one by one, in logical sequence. It takes a good brain to do that. I was very impressed.
Yes, I think he did an expert job.
I mean, he had a lot of drive, too. Real drive.
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
How about sitting down?
The 8th juror does not hear the foreman. The gentleman at the window. The 8th juror turns, startled.
How about sitting down?
Oh, I'm sorry.
He moves to his chair and sits. The 9th juror enters the washroom from the lavatory and washes his hands.
It's pretty tough to figure, isn't it? A kid kills his father. Bing, just like that.
Well, if you analyze the figures.
What figures? It's those people, I'm telling you. They let the kids run wild up there. Well, maybe it serves them right, you know what I mean?
The foreman crosses to the washroom door.
Hey, you a Yankee fan?
No, Milwaukee.
That's like being hit on the head with a crowbar once a day. Listen, who they got? I'm asking you. Who they got besides great groundskeepers?
I'd like to get started.
The 9th juror enters from the washroom.
I'm sorry.
The 9th juror crosses and takes his seat.
Milwaukee.
All right, now you gentlemen can handle this any way you want. I mean, I'm not gonna have any rules. If we want to discuss first and then vote, that's one way. Or we can vote right away and see how we stand.
He pauses and looks around.
Well, that's all I have to say.
I think it's customary to take a preliminary vote.
Yeah, let's vote. Who knows, maybe we can all go home.
It's up to you. Just let's remember, we got a first-degree murder change here. If you vote guilty, we send the accused to the electric chair. That's mandatory.
I think we okay.